Warning, the following video may or may not, but definitely will, contain spoilers, coarse language, and unhinged emotional rants about fictional content that will make no sense whatsoever. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello there! Welcome back to my channel. It has been a hot minute since I posted a video, because I just, haven't been feeling it, but now I am, so let's get into it. So, Tales of the Jedi. We have two stories going on. We have Ahsoka and Dooku, before he fell to the dark side, right? So the first short starts off with Ahsoka being born, and it's so cute. Her dad is just so pumped for it. It's adorable. And it's just, yeah, basically she's a baby. Her mom takes her out hunting, but they end up getting ambushed by this like saber-toothed tiger looking thing, right? And it just straight up takes Ahsoka and just brings her to be eaten, I guess. Like, I don't know why it just doesn't go chomp, but but instead of, the tiger thing eating her, Ahsoka makes a little friend, because, she's she's force sensitive, so of course, and so the tiger brings her back to her little village, and everything's cool. There wasn't a lot going on in this one, it was just obviously to do a little cute thing, showing how, how early on, the force sensitivity, hits ya, because, we don't see that a whole lot, right? We never see little babies being force sensitive. At least not that I can, come up with, right off the top of my head. I don't think we've really seen that. So it was cute to see, her convincing this tiger thing not to eat her just by using the force, right? I thought that was cool. Something else I did notice, that old lady, she looks fun. You could see, all the aging on her skin. I just enjoy that a lot. I love seeing the details that they put into this goddamn amazing animation style they have going. It's just mwah, beautiful. Moving on, for some reason it just skips to Dooku's whole story. For some reason, I don't know if that was intentional with the order, I guess, but yeah, we ignore Ahsoka for for a bit here, because the next three shorts are all about Dooku, right? So the first one, we have Dooku and Qui-Gon. They land in this rundown town. Looks very suspicious, at least at first, because it's just super spooky, and it's someone's gonna ambush them at some point. But it just turns out that the senator who's supposed, his whole thing had been oh, we're gonna help out the people. No, he's just been a shitty senator this whole time, and so he just has not been caring about the people he's supposed to, help, right? That's why they elected him. But, so they the whole town just ends up kidnapping the senator's son, and he's just super chill about it, because, he didn't know his dad was doing a crappy job, so he's just yeah, I see why they kidnapped me, it makes sense, because, look how they're living. So he was pretty chill. So, the senator, obviously, he comes looking for his son. He's got his whole security detail and everything like that. But Dooku and Qui-Gon are just we're not gonna let you, kill all these people, because they kind of had a reason to kidnap your son. And the son was super cool about it, because, they didn't, hurt him or anything. They just kidnapped him and held him prisoner, and he's just yep, I see why they did it. And so, of course, the senator's ready to just start raining bullets, just start killing people, which he kind of does. But, Dooku, we never really see him being a cool dude, He's always kind of a piece of shit, right? Because, he's a Sith Lord, right? But not yet. Not right in this, not at this moment, He's actually still a pretty cool dude. And he was not happy with how the senator had been treating this town, right? He's just you're not causing any more troubles, We're actually going to hold you accountable, because you've been an asshole to these people this whole time, when they thought, you were gonna help them. Turns out you weren't. So they have every right to be pissed, right? So, he helps them fight back against the senator and his, security detail. And he pulls out a force choke, which, he's still a Jedi. at this point, so it was interesting to see that, because he did not let up on that. He was like choking this dude and like deflecting blaster shots as he's doing it. Like, it was and Qui-Gon literally had to be like, hey, we probably shouldn't kill him, right? Let's like chill out a little bit. Yeah, just right off the bat of these shorts, we just see him start to be more on the dark side. I mean, I'd say the senator definitely deserved to be choked a little bit, because, like, yeah. We saw the state of the town and how these people are just starving and basically, like, dying, and he's not giving a flying shit about it. So, I think he deserved it a little bit. I think Dooku had every right. So, on to the second Dooku short. We have Dooku and Mace Windu going to Raxus. They go there because one of the Jedi, Katri, I think her name is, yeah, she died. But Dooku suspects some foul play because, you know, she was there to protect a senator, and he somehow escaped completely, you know, not harmed at all, but like she ended up just dead. So of course Dooku's like, this is suspicious. We need to like investigate this, at least talk to the senator and see how he, you know, got away completely unharmed. And Mace, god damn it, Mace is just like, nah, we don't need to do that. We just need to go get her body. That's our orders. That's all we need to do. He's just very by the book. It's super annoying, and Dooku even says that, because it fucking is. Because goddamn, you're not gonna like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't understand the logic in that at all with like the Jedi Council and Mace. Like, you wouldn't question the senator just a little bit. Like, you're just gonna be like, well, a dead Jedi. Oh well. There's more where that came from, I guess. So I guess they're chill with that. So yeah, so they go. Dooku starts interrogating the senator a little bit, and eventually, you know, because he seems to be a little bit involved with it, but he was definitely not the mastermind, because he is just sweating bullets the entire time, and eventually he snitches, but then his guards end up just shooting him, because, you know, he blabbed. Those guards just try to kill Dooku and Mace because they know too much, right? But obviously that doesn't happen. They end up, you know, not killing one of the guards, so he just tells them why they did it, because he was just like, yeah, this senator is corrupt as hell, which seems to be a pattern, because there's gonna be a lot of corrupt senators in these shorts. So, interesting, right? But yeah, so he was just trying to sell the planet piece by piece, like literally. So it was like, the guards were just like, no, we're not gonna let that happen. But we weren't gonna kill him because we were gonna use him as our little puppet, you know. But that probably wouldn't work, because man, did that guy, that guy was hella suspicious the entire time. Like, come on, you can't use him as a puppet, because he's just gonna be sweating bullets 24/7 until he eventually like has a heart attack because of the stress, you know, like. That's not the best plan, right? But, yeah, so that happens. They, imprisoning the one guard that was still alive, which, one quick thing, they had, like, weird long finger glove things. I don't know. That was weird, but they were, very nice. I appreciate the fashion sense, because, But yeah, so... with all that, like, Dooku has a little conversation with that guy, which, you know, kind of makes sense considering Raxus does end up like a separatist planet, so like obviously Dooku's, and at this point like Dooku's definitely starting to question the council's choices and everything. But this ends with apparently Mace taking the dead Jedi Catri's council seat. So, that's a bit suspicious, because Mace is definitely, like, a little, like, oh, yeah, you know, I was just as surprised as you were, and it's like, Dooku's like, yeah, okay, well, this seems a little bit suspicious to me, right? So then we have the third and final Dooku short, which starts off with him going into the Jedi Temple with like to go into like the archives or something. When that was, he ends up using a clearance code that isn't his. It's Sypha Diaz's clearance code, right? Which we all know, he's the one that had commissioned the clones in secret, right? And then Dooku deletes everything about Kamino. Like, it's not on the map. There's no record of it whatsoever in the Jedi Temple. So that's interesting, because like, I don't know, this might just be me, but like, I didn't know when Dooku started, because like, I know Dooku was the one that like hired Jango Fett to be the clone template, but I just didn't know like when he did it. Like, was he still like a Jedi or something? Apparently he was. And like not he like wasn't, but like he was still playing the part of a Jedi, right? So that's interesting. So that happened. And there's also this like whole big talk about Qui-Gon encountering a Sith Lord on Tatooine. I wonder who that is. But yeah, so Dooku's like trying to tell people that like the dark side is growing. Like, I don't know, it's just like, there's a Sith Lord running around. One of the Jedi actually encountered him, like, you're not gonna be like, maybe we should start worrying, the Sith are supposed to be dead, like, this is a little, strange, right? It's a cause for concern, you would assume, right? Apparently not. Like, the Jedi Council is just like, nah, let's ignore that, we don't want to panic anyone. Right? Because that's the smart move, right? Okay. They're so goddamn infuriating. This is, why I do not particularly like the Jedi Council. Yeah, so there's that. There's a time skip, and Qui-Gon's now dead, because obviously the Sith Lord is obviously Maul, and he just slices him dead, right? So, Dooku's not very happy, though. And he kind of blames the council. And, he's been talking to Yaddle this whole time, and Yaddle's been kind of, like, suspicious a little bit, because luckily, she's not as stupid as the rest of the council, because she actually steps down from her chair, because she's just like, yeah, they've kind of been a little, right? So she notices it, and she notices Dooku's being a little suspicious as well, but in a different kind of suspicious, and more of like, hey, I'm going to the dark side kind of suspicious. So she follows Dooku, who somehow doesn't see her at all, but she follows him, and he goes to this rundown building in Coruscant, and obviously he's talking to Sidious, and he's not super happy that Maul killed Qui-Gon, and he's just like, I didn't like that, you shouldn't have done it, and of course Sidious is like, I don't give a shit, man. Who cares? I'm just trying to, do my thing. I don't care. But yeah, so obviously since Yaddle followed them, she confronts Dooku and is just like, the hell's going on here? Why are you talking to this suspicious man that kind of looks like a Sith Lord, maybe? I don't know. Probably is, because we've already seen one, and then there's one, there's always the other, because the Sith do the whole, like, double thing. There's always two, right? So, obviously. Yeah, it's just like this whole time, I'm just like, I'm on Dooku's side the entire time, basically, because I'm just like, yeah, the Jedi Council's fucked. And even Yaddle knows that. She's like, yeah, I agree, but, like, you shouldn't be consorting with a Sith Lord, because you're just gonna fuck everything up, including for yourself. But, clearly, she can't be left alive, and Dooku kills her, except Psych, he tries to crush her. That doesn't work. So, but, obviously he does kill her. It just takes the second try, But, she was, I don't know, I liked her. She was pretty cool. So I'm a little sad she had to die. And a small part of me was like, I hope she, like, has a change of heart and actually decides to join the dark side. Of course she's not gonna, but, like, I think that would have been fun to see. That'd have been interesting, but yeah. That was a great series, though. I really liked seeing more of Dooku, especially like before he was a Separatist and before he was a Sith Lord. That was actually pretty fun. I liked his story a lot. So now we are back. We're back to Ahsoka, which again, I don't know why they put those episodes in that order, but I don't know. So we see Anakin in like the more refined Clone Wars style, which was interesting because obviously this is like the design he had like in the very beginnings. But yeah, so he enters this room and you just like immediately see Kanan, you know, when he's still, you know, Caleb, right? And he's sitting with his Jedi Master, which is sweet because he's just watching, because like Anakin's there to watch Ahsoka train, and so is Kanan, you know. So that was cute to see him. But also Ahsoka has a new outfit, and I'm gonna be real, it looks way better than her like tube top thing, because tube tops are hard to pull off. She's not a tube top kind of gal, right? Yeah, so like this whole episode is just her training, and Anakin makes her do a more difficult test, because he's just like, those training bots suck, you need a much harder test. And she's just like, you know what? Yeah, bring it on, bitch. Let's see what you got, right? And so basically they just have like Rex and the boys, as you know, as they're referred to. I thought that was cute. But yeah, so apparently Anakin just wants her to be shot by little stunners, you know, which seem like they'd be like way harder to block. Like when you watch her like blocking these things, that looks like way harder than like blocking blaster fire, you know, because the stuns are just like huge. They're like these big old circles. They go pow, right? And I think that would be harder to block. So like this definitely seems like a harder test already. And then you get stunned, so then you're just knocked the fuck out, right? Jesse's the one that stuns Ahsoka the first time, which is cute, but with how this one ends with the whole Order 66 scenes from, you know, the actual Clone Wars show, like at the very end, where Jesse's trying to kill both her and Rex. I guess not Rex at first, because he doesn't know Rex has the chip out, but like, oh, yeah. That's basically how that one ends, and we get to the final Ahsoka one, and this is just the final short in general, and it just starts off with Padme's goddamn funeral. So, whew, a way to start that one off. And we actually see Bail and Mon Mothma there, which was interesting. And Bail notices Ahsoka pretty quickly, because she's in the crowd, because, you know, Padme was her goddamn friend. Like, of course she's gonna be there. But, yeah, eventually Bail is able to track her down and is like, hey, probably shouldn't be here because there's a bunch of clones here and they're trying to kill any Jedi they see, right? And, you know, Ahsoka's basically like, I'm tired of fighting, I can't do this anymore, because, like, I don't blame her, like, shit, right? But, Bail offers her a comm, so, like, if she ever needs help, she can call him, and it's sweet. But, yeah, so she leaves, and Rex is still with her, so that's sweet. I really want to know, like, when they part ways. I feel like we're gonna see that in the second season of The Bad Batch, right? So maybe Ahsoka's still with him at this point. Or at the point of The Bad Batch, because The Bad Batch is, like, right after Order 66. So, yeah, I don't know. I want to see what happens with Rex and Ahsoka. I want to see more of their... I want to see more of their relationship, honestly, because they've been so fun. And I want to see more of them. Yeah. So I hope we get that in The Bad Batch. In the next season of The Bad Batch, you know. So hopefully that'll happen. So, getting back to it. Ahsoka's working on a farm now. It seems to be like this co-op thing. There's a lot of people just working on this farm together. And she's going by Ashla, which is a really cute name, by the way. I like that name. But, yeah, so she ends up saving a girl from being crushed to death by a bunch of hay bales. And we find out that her brother's a little Imperial bastard, you know. He's not, like, Imperial, but he's very much like, the Empire's great, you know. We're super cool. We should be very thankful to them. Like, a little bastard, you know. God. I hate this kid so much. Because, you know, obviously he overhears, because clearly, his sister, the girl that Ahsoka saves, is like, I know you're a Jedi. Like, just says it out loud like a dumbass, and Ahsoka's just like, you're a dumbass, shut up, And of course the brother hears it, and because he's a little shit ass, he tells the Empire, which doesn't go too well, because, the girl and Ahsoka go off to, go sell the hay bales, and they get back to the village just set on fire, and everyone's just getting executed one by an Inquisitor, who actually looks pretty cool. I thought he looked pretty fun. Very intimidating, I would say, because, that whole dead skull mask, that was cool. I liked that. He was cool. But, yeah, so that little shit brother tried to turn in Ahsoka, and of course it doesn't go well, because the Inquisitor's looking for a Jedi, and no one's a Jedi, so he thinks this kid just lied to him, which, is kind of dumb, because, like, why would he lie about that? That seems a little weird, even though, you're supposed to get a reward. It's probably money or something, but it's like, that seems like a dumb thing to lie about. And the Inquisitor's about to just, like, stab him, for lying to him, or, well, yeah, kind of lying to him, because, like, at that point, like, he was just like, here's your reward, I'm about to just stab you right through your back, right? But, of course, Ahsoka uses the Force to save his little shit ass that doesn't deserve to be saved. I think he should have been stabbed, in my opinion, but yeah. So, obviously, she shows him that she's actually a Jedi, and then he's like, so, and then the Inquisitor's like, so this little shit kid wasn't lying, right? So, obviously, they have a fight, which is very quick, by the way. Ooh, and Ahsoka turns off his lightsaber, which was fun. I think that's, like, a thing that, like, very few Jedi do, or it's just, like, a dick move, right? Or maybe just not everyone can do it, I don't know. But, like, she turns off his lightsaber and just steals it and kills that bitch with his own lightsaber. Ooh! That was just queen shit right there. Like, yeah, so, obviously, at that point, Ahsoka's like, yeah, what do we do with these, like, survivors? Because, some of the villagers did survive, so she's just like, yeah, what do we do with these people? Because they can't really stay here, And so she ends up calling Bail, and Bail comes and picks them up, and he's just like, hey, are you ready to join the rebellion? And she's just like, well, might as well. She didn't seem too enthusiastic about it, but she was definitely like, this guy is concerning, this Inquisitor dude, right? So I should probably do something about this, right? So, yeah. And that's how it ends. This was kind of short, but man, was it fun to watch. It was just, so fun. Mostly because I fucking love this animation style so goddamn much. It is just, mwah, beautiful, And I think we should have more of this, because animated Star Wars is superior, because usually we get more alien species, right? And, because a lot of these live action ones don't have a lot of aliens. Yeah. I mean, I really liked seeing Dooku and Ahsoka, mostly because they're definitely more on the gray Jedi side, especially Ahsoka. Dooku would have been if, Palpatine hadn't got a hold of him, right? But, it's nice. It's nice seeing these stories, because these were definitely more interesting. Especially since, like, Ahsoka and Dooku do not give a shit about killing people. Clearly, as we've seen, right? But it was interesting to see more about Dooku, because, I'm gonna be real, I didn't know a lot about him. So I liked seeing that, and I also don't think I knew Qui-Gon was his Padawan, and if I did, I forgot about it. So, that was interesting to see, yeah, Dooku and Qui-Gon being Jedi and Padawan together. That was interesting. And just, yeah, I don't know. Seeing Dooku be more rational than the Jedi Council was interesting, because, man, yeah, the Jedi Council is not great. They're pretty fucked up, and I do not like them at all. So I'm glad that they emphasize this in these stories, which makes sense, because it's about Dooku. Don't trust the Jedi Council. They're just, yeah, they're doing whatever the hell they're doing, because, like, man, yeah, they didn't give two shits about how that one Jedi just ended up dead, and somehow that senator that she was protecting didn't. That seemed a little suspicious. They just seemed like, they were just like, well, whatever. She's dead, or we somehow orchestrated this, right? And it was a little suspicious, like maybe they had something to do with it, especially since Mace, like, immediately took over her seat, right, in the Jedi Council, and Dooku thought that was suspicious, which it is. Mace was acting suspicious too, like, he was just like, yeah, well, she's dead. Oh well, I've got her seat now. Bye. Seeing Ahsoka was nice. I always love seeing her in that animation style because she looks amazing. Her story was a little more right? At least that last one was a little better, you know? That one actually had some juice to it. Yeah. It's just, Dooku's was more interesting because there's more to say about him, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. This was cute. I enjoyed it a lot. But yeah, so, to end this off, on a scale of, trash to a banger, it's a banger. You know, this was a fun one to watch. I liked it a lot. It was cute. We got more about, like, Dooku and Ahsoka as well. And it was also short and to the point. I appreciated that. It was nice. But yeah, so that's basically all I have to say about Tales of the Jedi. If you want to see more of my face, you can follow me on my other social medias. And if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next week. And stay sparkly, my dudes!